So a place like this, you see how the roof caved in? The tiles of the ceiling, along with any woodwork wouldn't be maybe the biggest issue, but yeah, maybe it would. I don't know. It basically would. It's gonna create a lot of rubble in the floor, basically, by all the roof falling and all that sort of stuff, which means that all of the buildings are just gonna be rubble, and then the charred wood and all that is just great for vegetation. So it's just gonna be a bunch of greenery in there, and this happens to even recently burned down houses. So this is more or less a realistic depiction of what it would look like. But yeah, the basically what I'm trying to say is that the roof is what you see on the floor rather than the floor, which is a pain in the ass. But we're going in, and as you can tell, it's not quite as catastrophic as I was making it out to be. My God, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I can't get back up there. If I climb, it might collapse further. I'll have to find another way out. And we have a tower. It's the only thing. Yeah, there's a lot of non-collapsed floor, which is good for our gameplay purposes. There's nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. These vines go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. I can see all of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundation of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. That's a terrible thing. She's gonna get herself killed. How does that look pretty stable? Divine's help, I suppose. And we're back here. Oh God. I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. It doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? We have the cemetery. These roses seem to have made the Abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. Well, the ruins are beautiful as well, right? And the cemetery. More roses. Huh. Oh, you can get in through here. Nice. That's a different part of the building, though. Oh, this one is blocked. Can't go down through here. Which is curious. Kitty. I wonder if there were always this many cats at the Abbey. Perhaps I can ask Waislav what he remembers during his time here. Hello. Meow. Meow. Meow meow. This place is a mess. How sad. Yeah, I can't go pretty much anywhere. You have the chapter house. The door's stuck. I can't get through this way. Oh, an old mural. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A dance of death? Oh. What? These figures look new? The paint can't be more than a few years old. Oh, this is Paul, isn't it? What do we have here? It's like a dragon eating... Is that a person with wings? I don't know the symbols here. That's Andreas Mahler, I imagine. Crying. And the books. And who's that? Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the Dance of Death, and why? These look like people from the town, from here. People who died. That must be the Baron. And that's Odo. Wait, is that... Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? An Abbey Forgotten. That's Andreas Mahler crying, and that's somebody with their face covered crying. That's Gaspar. This is a tree with a thing being born out of... That must be Odo, right? This is a really pretty one here. This is Gaspar's doing, isn't it? We're about to meet Gaspar. The door. Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything left of the Abbey. I want to get out of here. When did it start snowing? It's not snow, it's ash. We know this. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Well, it has been cold. Interesting. It could also be the manipulator, admittedly. the person who's pulling the strings and all that, but I doubt it. It doesn't seem very natural to me. Like, how would that, I mean, it's not that it wouldn't make sense, it's just that we don't have any information to go on regarding that person, so we have, like it doesn't make any sense for us. Let's get to drawing then. Magdalene. Dr. Stoltz. So you're doing quick work with the mural, eh? I hope that doesn't make you sloppy. Well, I've rigged the scaffolding sheets so that enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. Ah yes, how very clever of you. In any case, the council wants to hear what you're doing. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And so we have options here. I'll paint St. Moritz, St. Satya, and Our Lady of the Labyrinth receiving the Christian settlers. The second one is I want to show the history, how it happened. I'll paint Lady Kiersau founding the abbey from the old Bergfried. And the other one is I'll paint the Bavarians settling among the Roman ruins, starting the Christian history of Tassing. Yeah, let's go with that. You may find that ignoring the saints in favor of such a mundane portrayal of events is unwelcome. Even so, I suppose it is an important step in the history of Tassing. Remember, the mural isn't for your benefit, but to make Tassing look good. I remember. Very well. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. Ah, yes. I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. Yeah, it's such a strange thing to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it, but they have all just locked it away. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Dr. Stoltz? Yes? Have you ever seen someone lurking around the Abbey? Or heard about it? I haven't been up to the Abbey in years. And no, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? I've seen someone following me a few times. No, I don't know anything about it. Now, if there's nothing else... No, good night, Dr. Stoltz. Good night, Magdalene. Why would you be rude to his face? Besides just finding out what he says. Now, I only have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. But what was his name? The only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon who came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Estler. That's him, right there. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as an archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to his Thayer, too. I'll write to them tonight before bed. Let's go check on Dad. But also, we don't have to eat. Hello, Magdalene. It's interesting that we don't have to eat. Not really sure why. But yeah, let's write. All right, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon Jacob Estler and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll write a letter to his Thayer too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. Jacob Estler, formerly Archdeacon of Freising. My name is Magdalene Druckerin. I am an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kiersau Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? In particular, do you remember anything about someone writing notes to provoke the killer? More have appeared in passing in subsequent years, seemingly harbingers of death. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalene Druckerin. Dearest Esther, I hope you are well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Simon, and Elisha too, of course, and your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I have reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You've said it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in winter. Dad's condition is so much worse and he is in so much pain. Dr. Stoltz has been, well, he's a useless asshole. Only God knows why he's such a bitter old man, but he's neglected Dad almost entirely. It's no secret that he is an utter failure of a doctor, and drunkard to boot. What a disgusting waste of a man. I worry about Dad. I've asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much we can do alone. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. Christ, I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After I explore the mines to see Tassing's early history, and then again in the Abbey ruins. If it's the person who attacked my dad, why are they following me? It's the strangest thing, given me a fright a few times already. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. The only good news I can share at the moment is that the mural is almost finished. I should have it completed by Christmas or soon after, before the new year at least. Then perhaps at long last I shall be able to visit you and meet the Simon. Anyway, I fear that this will be my last letter of the year. The Reich Post has already been late and reported worsening snows through the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simon. Yours always, Magda. I think I am just going to go to bed. Yep. Maybe I should go outside. It's snowing. Oh, people are still out and about. Odds is out and about. But nobody else is. All right. Let's go to bed. How did this get here? Stop. This is just like the note Dad found. Who's doing this? I have a feeling I'm going to find out sooner or later. I need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. I mean, it is a coincidence. It is just not a coincidence. Or not just a coincidence. But he's been so weak, I don't want to upset him. I just need to wait for the right time. I hope there's a right time. Yeah, can I ask him right now? I don't think I can. And there it is. I can't. It is a choice that is barred to us. I would definitely ask him right now. Personally. It's late. I should get some rest soon. Yes. Oh, we're gonna go for weeks. 2 more weeks. Mistress Druckerin, only one letter for you today. Oh no. Didn't make it to the stair. The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. The same to you. Reply from Jacob Estler. Mistress Druckerin, I do recall the Rothwoggle case, though it has been over a decade since I have served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. The notes you mentioned do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned at Kiersau was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Mahler. He mentioned finding notes written in a fine hand inciting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my invitation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now after so many years must mean that their author is still alive. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Esler. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. I'd better get back to the rat house then. Still more work to be done. Three weeks have passed, and it's Christmas Eve. Good morning, Dad. Finally caught up on the mural, and now I can start final part today. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalene, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Perchtenlauf. Perchtenlauf? I don't know. A Germanic folk ritual celebrated around Christmas time, in which the townsfolk dress as Perchten and drive evil spirits from the town to protect it in the coming new year. There's always next year. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said he would come by again today. Fine, I'm fine. Maybe I should stay home with you today. No, Magdalene. If you want to work, you should work. It's all right. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note the note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene, Oh God, that must be Otz. He said he'd drop by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know. I will. Can we talk about it later? Dad? I'll tell you, I promise. Alright. I'll be back later. Good. Take care of yourself out there. I wonder if he will talk about it later. Because it doesn't... If he will talk about it later, it isn't to answer the question of who it is. It's just to develop his character in some way, which would be interesting, obviously. Because for it to be the answer of who it is from, or in any way a hint to us as players to be to know who it is from, it would require the whole game to be about who wrote that. And the whole game is not about that. So I think it doesn't make thematic sense for it to be... that. Let's have a chat with Ots.